Welcome back, True Seeker. In light of Oprah's Golden Globe speech January 7th, 2018, and the attention she received in the media the next day, asking if she would run for president in 2020, I want to show you what's so interesting about what's been predicted in television, from cartoons to Oprah's own TV show. I have a theory. We're going to see Oprah win the presidency in 2020, and then we're going to see Ivanka win in 2028. It's going to play out over a long time, but there's a reason for all of this, and I'm going to show you that right now. So Oprah, she gave this speech. It began in 1964, the year of the Civil Rights Act, when she was a young girl and she saw Sidney Poitier win an award, win an Academy. Never before for a black man, and how inspiring that was for her. And she talked about that. She talked about what's going on in the media with sexual harassment by powerful men. And she's talking about a new horizon for all the young girls. And check this out. The date she gave this speech, the Golden Globe speech, January 7th, 2018, that was a date with numerology of 46. And think about it. Donald Trump's the 45th president. The next president will be the 46th. The president after that will be the 47th, but only the 46th person to be president. A count that's been messed up since Grover Cleveland because he was number 22 and number 24. So the 25th president was the 24th person. The 26th president was the 25th person up to the present. But the next president will be the 46th. And notice the name Winfrey in Gematria. Sums to 46. Golden Globe sums to 46. Golden Globe also has Gematria of 199, which is the 46th prime number. And Oprah, in her speech, she thanked a lot of people from Chicago, where she had her television show for all those years. Chicago also 46. To show you the relationship with 46 and 199, I'm going to go off on a small tangent that people in Chicago will understand. The last time the Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl, understand, everything that comes through the TV, I'm talking your news, your sports, your elections, all of it is rigged by this code. I've proven that definitively since 2013. In case you're new here, see what I just exposed about the college championship, why I said Alabama would win it. It was all about 13. Way before there was a 13-point comeback with number 13. But understand, the Chicago Bears, they won the Super Bowl 46-10 at the end of the 85-86 season, and they beat the Patriots. In Gematria, Patriots equals 46. So does Tom Brady. So does Michigan. Tom Brady was the 199th overall draft pick out of Michigan by the Patriots. These numbers come together again and again. Super Bowl 50 was the 46th Super Bowl of the modern era. If you saw my work exposing that Super Bowl, which I predicted everything about in October, months before it was played, the star player in that game, I forget his full name, but it had Gematria of 199. Levi's Stadium equaled 46. Super Bowl 50 was the 46th of the modern era. There was a lot of 199 and 46 in that too. So these numbers, they have this relationship. Now think about it. Winfrey on a date with numerology of 46. The next day, could she be the next president? Just wait until we get to what happened in 1988 with Trump and Oprah Winfrey. But for now, think about this. 46, the flip of 64. Oprah began her speech in 64, the year of the Civil Rights Act. She talked about being a little girl and her mother coming home from cleaning homes all day. That part actually resonated with me because, my mom, she's cleaned houses her whole life. She still cleans houses. Anyhow, Barack Hussein Obama, the first black president, we've talked about this many times before, 64. He became the 44th president, being elected 44 years after the Civil Rights Act. The faces of the Civil Rights Act, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, both killed on dates with connections to 44. Malcolm X's assassin got 44 years in prison. Another special number. But let's stay on point. Her speech began with Sidney Poitier. Look at his name gematria, 75. This was the 75th Golden Globes. Again, everything is scripted. These people are actors and actresses. They're going out and performing lines. They're going out and participating in a planned agenda. If Oprah knows she's to be the president in 2020, understand she's known this for a long time, since at least 1988, which we'll get to. So the next day in the media, January 8th, 2018, the day after the speech, Oprah actively thinking about 2020. If you missed my video on January 8th about everything in the news, the Trump Tower fire, the police SUV into the train station, New Jersey, you need to watch that video. Very important. Everything that day was coded 81. January 8th, 8/1. The word ritual has Gematria of 81. But we're going to get to this point still. You can see it on the screen, but we're getting there. I wanted you to understand that this coming on a date with numerology of 47, very special number. President equals 47, White House 47, government 47, authority 47, DC 47. Trump was in the 47-story Midtown Hilton Hotel the night of the rigged selection. The name Trump 47. So, about 2020 and Oprah, this very important piece right here. There's this episode, Return of the King, came out January 15th, 2006, Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. He would have been 77 years old on the day this came out. And remember that, we're going to get to 77. But in this episode, they cover how Oprah Winfrey has been elected President of the United States. And in that cartoon, they show Oprah on the front of a paper, the U.S. Times, November 8th, 2020, Oprah Winfrey elected President. That's a date with numerology of 59. And what's interesting is the next presidential election will be the 59th. This was the 58th U.S. presidential election that Trump won. He announced he was running from the 58-story Trump Tower. Remember, Negro equals 59, slave 59, blues 59. We would have a female and a Negro president for the 59th election. Boondocks, date numerology of 59 that they show in this, predictive programming. And notice how the mainstream media emphasizes the Boondocks. The Boondocks predicted that Oprah Winfrey will become president in 2020. They were emphasizing this yesterday. Notice the Boondocks equals 59. You see this? So, let's say Oprah wins the next presidential election. There's also predictive programming in cartoons from The Simpsons that Ivanka runs in 2028. And I want to show you why she would be so perfect. And notice today, these headlines. Ivanka Trump liked Oprah's Golden Globe speech. Ivanka Trump's praise of Oprah Winfrey's speech raises eyebrows. Ivanka Trump gets slammed for tweeting in support of Oprah's Golden Globe speech. Look at this. There is a cartoon from The Simpsons called Treehouse of Horror, XXVII, came out October 16th, 2016. Shows Ivanka running in 2028. Here's why that's interesting. She's going to be 47 years old in 2028, just in time for the election. The Simpsons predicted Trump would be president and he would be followed by a female. Oprah Winfrey would be the perfect female to follow. If Ivanka was to follow Oprah, look at this. Lisa Simpson, who becomes the first female president after Trump in the cartoon. But notice Lisa Simpson and Ivanka Trump in our 4 base ciphers in Gematria, based on the alphabetic order, forwards and backwards, the reductions using the rules of numerology. Perfect match in all 4 base ciphers. And in case you're new here, words that really go together have major relationships. Look at witch and broom. Perfect overlap in all 4 ciphers. How about gavel and judge? Perfect overlap, all 4 ciphers. They just put in the latest Supreme Court justice on April 7th. 4-7. Plus, there's a whole lot more to that. Everything in this nation is done by this code. This is how you can know this knowledge is relevant and it is predictive of things to come. Again, President 47, White House 47, Government 47, Authority 47, Trump 47, DC 47. This episode name, XXVII, notice the overlap with that abbreviation in the name Trump. And this is where she runs in 2028. Again, she'll be 47 years old. The Simpsons has a long history of predicting things correctly only because the people who write this show are part of the network that control this country. You know, this nation's controlled by a gang, a real form of mafia, another word with Gematria 47, like authority and government. The people who control the media are the same people who control the money, are the same people who control the government. They are the false Jews, the Zionist Jews. They control Freemasonry. This is what's going on in the world. You know, if you listen to who Oprah thanked last night, she thanked a Jewish man from Chicago right away, the Zionist Mecca. She said none of this would have been possible without him. You see? You see? So, I'll link all these blog posts. There's even more information. Few more notes about this right here, though, before we go. The date of the election, or hold on, before we get there, we got to make sure this point's understood too. Donald Trump went on Oprah's show in 1988, and he joked about becoming president. Notice Trump equals 88, like the year that happened. Now Oprah is getting her breakout moment at the Golden Globe Awards, which equals 88 too. This is a number that has a lot to do with circles and cycles. Notice there's 4 circles in the number 88. You know, a year is a circle. 4 years in a presidential term. There's something deeper here. You see? You add up the degrees in 4 circles, 360 times 4, that's 1,440, just like the amount of minutes in a day. But here we go. 77. We were talking about how that Boondock Saint or Boondocks cartoon came out on the day that Martin Luther King Jr. would have turned 77. Notice that Oprah Winfrey equals 77. Same cartoon where she becomes president. Washington, D.C. is on the 77th meridian. Big number in Washington, D.C. In Gematria, United States equals 77. So does theater, so does Zionist, so does Judaism. Notice also that Oprah Winfrey equals 58. Washington has Gematria 58, so does United States, so does Freemasonry, so does Secret Society, so does Solomon's Temple. Big number with Trump's presidency. The date of the next election in 2020 is November 3rd. That's the day leaving 58 days left in the year. The name Oprah's 58 and the name Oprah Winfrey's 58. November 3rd, that date can also be written 3/11, like 311, which is the 64th prime, the year of the Civil Rights Act. You know, the year that her speech began, her memory from 64. Freemasonry also has Gematria of 158, Secret Society 166. A lot of numbers pop there. Oprah is also 77 in addition to Oprah Winfrey. I mean, she has perfect numbers for Washington, D.C., her name. Undeniable. And that election date is just also perfect for her. Consider the current vice president is Mike Pence. He's vice president to the 45th president. Mike Pence equals 45 forwards and backwards. If anything happened to Donald Trump, Mike Pence would become number 46, but only the 45th person to be president. Again, because the count's messed up. That means if Oprah won the next election, she'd be number 47, but the 46th person. If Donald Trump finishes his term and Oprah wins the next election, she'd become number 46. And if she did 2 terms and Ivanka won in 2028, Ivanka would become number 47 at age 47, having the perfect name gematria of 47, you know? As I've been explaining all this time, and when I was last talking to Chad, who I have on my radio show sometimes for the first hour, him and I were talking about, could we see Oprah run in 2020? Because it just made so much sense for her to go against Trump. And so now here it is. You know, it's all coming into fruition. And you know the code, you can actually put some real logic and reason to it. All these people out here who don't share gematria, you know, if you're skipping out on gematria, you're skipping out on the actual evidence to reveal what's truly happening in this world, you know? There's no way all this is coincidence. Golden Globe breakout. She could be the number 46 president or the 46th person to be president. If Trump doesn't make it through his first term, which is entirely possible, they've compared him to Nixon and Kennedy, who both didn't finish terms. You know, she has two ways to align with number 46. So don't forget it. It's all predictive programming. All presidents are selected. There's never been a real election. The election's a complete mockery of all of us to make us buy into an obvious lie. You know, everything is predetermined. The whole voting is just a show, a waste of our time. You know? If you missed all the work I've done on 59 and politicians and this number being coded on black people, do the gematria of the mayors who just won in St. Paul and Montana. Both of their names equal 59. First Negro politicians. One in Montana, one in Minnesota. And there's many more like them. Remember when the Republicans were running before Trump was president? There was like 20 of them to start. There was one black man, Dr. Ben Carson, 59. There's no such thing as the Binder twins, you guys. Ben Carson, obvious puppet, obvious liar, obvious stooge. Binder twins. Supposedly performed the first surgery to, you know, unbind conjoined twins at the head. Bullshit. Mockery. It's all you get in this nation. It's where we live. Alright, I'll leave it there. All the posts will be linked below. I'll make a little playlist for this too with the videos I did on Ivanka Trump. Until next time.